Here's the 3 base steps to gaining a real fan base. Step 1 is to have entertaining and engaging video content posting as often as possible. Now, when I say as often as possible, I don't mean that you have to actually create a video every day. You don't even need to create a video every week. You can just create at least 4 long form videos per month and chop them up into shorts and post them on a daily basis or multiple times a week at minimum. And this needs to be a mix of different types of entertaining and engaging video content. So the way I recommend to mix this up is to have 1 music video, and then the other 3 are a mixture of music related videos and lifestyle videos. Music related videos can be behind the scenes, lyric breakdown videos, or stuff like that. Things that, why I make music, why I make this style of music, stuff like that. Lifestyle videos are more on speaking on interests or hobbies that you have. Okay, so for instance, if you're really big into sports and you're also using a lot of sports metaphors in your music, then you can create lifestyle content around sports. If you're really big into politics and you always have it in your music, again, you can create content about politics or social issues. Whatever your interest is that drives your lyrics in your music, you need to create some non-music promotional video content for it. Creating those 4 entertaining, engaging videos that are diverse in style is a key way to create multiple connection points for strangers to connect with you on, that ultimately turns strangers into superfans. Now on to step 2 on how to build a real career in music in 2025, and honestly, even further than 2025. The key, number 2, is to engage with your fans. Now, you can do this in many different ways, but when you engage, you actually have to be genuine. And I have to say that because so many artists that I see are not being genuine. They're not putting the effort in. Because I'm not talking about just saying, oh, thanks for your support, or throwing up fire emojis or some other emojis as replies to comments from people. I'm talking about genuine conversation. Now, you don't have to try to be their best friend and get to know them on a personal level. But when somebody comments on your video and says, hey, I love this track, or some variation of that, you want to make sure that you're showing your appreciation, but then also asking them questions like, why do they like that track so much? What about that track? What part of the song do they like the most? This kind of response will not only get them to reply back to you, but it'll also make them feel like you actually care about their opinion, which will make them want to comment more on your content. But, aside from that, they'll also reply back to you and you guys can have a short little discussion. Again, it doesn't have to be super intense. It could be some short, honest, real, raw discussion. And what this will do is also create the opportunity for other people who are viewing that piece of content to chime in the conversation in the comment section. Now, if you don't already know, comments are a huge factor into the algorithm noticing that a piece of content has high engagement, and therefore the algorithm will actually suggest it to more people who are likely to engage in that content. So now, the 3rd step to building a real sustainable career in music in 2025 is to have as many different ways as possible for people to support you. Now, this one kind of ties in with the last part of step 2 that I was talking about in some ways, but obviously with this, you're going to have the most common ways that people can support you, the most common things like, liking, following, commenting, and sharing your content on social media and YouTube. Okay. That's free. It's easy. It's very common for people to do. Just click a button, done deal. But there's also following and listening to your music on streaming platforms. That's another simple thing, easy thing, essentially free for people to do to support you. But Aside from those most common and mostly free options for people to support you, there's also the paid options, like buying your merchandise or your music on your website. And with that, you can also have donation options on your website as well for PayPal Donate or Cash App, where people can just donate directly to you, whatever they want, whenever they want. And as I said in step 2, you can also have exclusive live streams that are behind a paywall, either on your website or a place like Patreon or something. And another way that you can have people support you is by getting them engaged in the creation and promotional process. And this is one that I enjoy the most, and I think works the best for artists, especially when they're first starting out, because
my revolutionary faculties got me switching up the game and changing minds. Get them out the system, I'll be saving lives.